send me a few pictures, and most sections seemed to be filled. It wasn't a sellout, but there was supposedly over 19,000 people in attendance. Of course, it's easier to draw a decent crowd when tickets are selling for $3 hours before the game starts.
Angel Reese tickets just dropped to just $2. Yes, cheaper than a gas station hot dog, and fans are joking that they should come with a refund after her latest performance left referees squinting in disbelief. The stands looked emptier than broken promises, and the internet wasted no time roasting her like it was Thanksgiving dinner. So what exactly happened, and why is everyone piling on? This story is turning out juicier than a TMZ scandal and, according to critics, funnier than her shooting percentage from last night.
WNBA, they're having troubles with tickets now because I think Caitlin Clark is out for what? How many weeks is she out? She's ruled out for the June 7th game. That's when she was supposed to meet up with Angel Reese again and Chicago Sky. And there's a massive drop in ticket sales. This is after the take foul that she had on Reese and ended with a shove, and she got a flagrant foul, and they gave Reese and the other chick a foul. And I don't know, I guess she has a left quad strain and she's going to miss
at least 4 games is what they're saying.
Yeah, okay.
$3 for a professional basketball game. Yes, just $3. That's less than the price of a sad vending machine sandwich. Yet somehow it's enough to get you inside an NBA-sized arena to watch Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Now, I'm not saying it's a terrible bargain. Technically, it's cheaper than high school JV ball. But let's be real. If someone handed me $3 and said, choose between Sky tickets or a gas station hot dog, I'd already be halfway through that greasy, questionable meat stick before they could finish saying, rebound percentage.
For Angel Reese and selling tickets and people watching her play is a lie. It's been proven time and time again, and it's been once again proven in a very embarrassing fashion for Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, as Indiana travels to Chicago tonight at 8 o'clock start to take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, and they're playing without Caitlin Clark. Apparently now Stephanie White will not be at the game. I'm not even doing a video on that. I see a whole bunch of stuff being on that. I couldn't care less.
And here's the twist. 19,000 fans packed the arena. No, that's not a typo. On the surface, it looks like a massive win for the WNBA, a slam dunk moment for women's basketball. But here's the catch. They weren't there for the Chicago Sky. The crowd showed up for the opposing team, the Indiana Fever, led by none other than Caitlin. Every camera is on me, Clark, the player who practically carries the league's entire marketing budget on her back like it's a fashion accessory.
The tickets to get into this building have completely plummeted. It's hitting levels of Miami Marlins baseball games. And for those of you who don't know, I could get a ticket for a Miami Marlins baseball game to sit like row 3 for like $5. That's how bad it is for Miami Marlins baseball.
So yes, 19,000 people filled the seats, but let's not kid ourselves. That wasn't a Chicago Sky fan base. It was more like a traveling Caitlin Clark cult on a Midwestern pilgrimage. And even with that, the Sky still had to slash ticket prices to blockbuster-era levels just to get people through the doors. It's like throwing a party at your own house, only to realize every guest came to see your cooler neighbor, and you still had to pay them to show up.
I'm really dead serious when I say this. I'm beating a lot of them, but I'm burying Angel Reese one-on-one. And I'm a big WNBA fan.
She's just big. She's not even good.
She's listed at 6'3". That means she's 6'1". I'm forcing her left, forcing her right. I don't know if she even knows what hand she is.
Shooting efficiency list. Unfortunately for Angel Reese, she's dead ass last. And I'm not kidding you in this list of players.
Sky tickets going for $3 isn't just embarrassing. It's historic. The kind of thing you'd want preserved in a museum so future generations can see how bad it really got. At this rate, the team might as well toss in a free taco with every seat just to make the deal worth it. You could take a family of 5 to the game for $15, still have money left over for nachos, and spend the night questioning your life choices. But the bigger issue is Angel Reese herself. We've all seen the hype, the swagger, the Bayou Barbie branding, the $1 million nil deals, the TikTok dances. But when does any of it actually translate to basketball? Lately, it hasn't. Reese looks like she doesn't even want to be on the floor, jogging around as if cardio was optional, her body language saying, "Is this over yet?" More than it screams Mamba mentality. And the moment anyone points this out, her fans swarm in to defend her like she's a fragile Fabergé instead of a professional athlete. Criticizing her game is almost impossible without being met by an army of Instagram defenders armed with zodiac signs as if they were legal arguments.
This is your star? This is who the media claims is elevating the WNBA? This is who the media has spent the last year wasting time trying to convince us that Angel Reese is responsible for elevating the dump? The same Angel Reese that could not sell out home games when she was at LSU. The same Angel Reese that struggled to sell tickets last year with the Chicago Bravado. The same Angel Reese that could not give away free tickets to her immaculate homecoming a couple of weeks ago at LSU.
Yes, there's a learning curve, but when your team's ticket prices are lower than a thrift store clearance rack, and fans would rather gamble on microwaved gas station beef than watch you play, maybe it's time for some self-reflection. Because at the end of the day, basketball, even with all the branding, glitz, and shoe deals, still requires effort, and right now Angel Reese is giving off heavy, "I'm just here so I won't get fined" energy. The wildest part? Every time she steps on the court, the internet erupts like a Civil War reenactment. Half the crowd ready to knight her as the future face of the league, the other half writing obituaries for her box score. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's reality TV in sneakers. Meanwhile, those $3 seats feel less like bargains and more like wide-open wastelands of regret and spilled popcorn. Let's be brutally honest. If you're a young WNBA player and your home game tickets are selling for less than a Starbucks cake pop, you're officially in the danger zone. That's emergency PR meeting, fake an injury, and pray for a rebrand territory. Because the league can't market you if the only way to pack an arena is to bait the other team's fan base with pocket change and pity.
So Angel Reese came out and had a 12-rebound, 4.2 assist game in the absence of Caitlin Clark tonight. Angel, they're not coming for you. They're coming to watch the prodigal son or daughter, Caitlin Clark. So as the Indiana Fever beat the Chicago Sky by 29 points without Caitlin Clark, I asked the EBT community, do y'all have eyes? Like, these two players have nothing in common.
Angel Reese still has her diehards who swear she brings more than just stats, but lately that feels like a slogan for a novelty t-shirt. 0 points, 2 rebounds, unlimited vibes. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is stacking triple-doubles and turning every WNBA game into must-see TV, while Angel's biggest contribution is getting boxed out and retweeting shade from the bench. Reese has the size, instincts, and presence that should make her a force, but her stat line looks like it's written in invisible ink. Blink and you'll miss her, and her defenders act like pointing that out is a crime. The reality is branding isn't a substitute for production, and $3 tickets aren't haters. They're the free market quietly saying, "We're good." Fans are filming TikToks instead of clapping, conversations echo through the arena unless Clark has the ball, and it all feels like a concert where the headliner forgot their mic. The WNBA has been begging for attention, but now that the spotlight is here, Reese is moving like she signed with a modeling agency instead of a basketball team, and until she shows real hustle, the only fast break Chicago's seeing is fans sprinting for the exits by halftime.
Angel Reese has a monster motor, and she'll gobble up double-doubles just off effort. But what I really like to see is her putting in work on her jumper, because Barbie getting buckets is going to be a real problem.
The WNBA is desperately trying to sell the Reese versus Clark storyline as Ollie versus Frazier, but right now it feels closer to Frazier versus Frazier. One's breaking records while the other is quietly updating her Instagram story from the bench. And this was in front of a home crowd. If you can't win over your own city when the league's most popular player is right beside you, maybe it's time to consider motivational speaking or curling. Sure, $3 to see Angel Reese live sounds like a bargain, but until she actually shows she wants to hoop, even a gas station hot dog feels like the smarter investment. At least it brings some heat, even if it's overpriced. Fans came expecting the Bayou Barbie to put on a show, but instead they got the basketball equivalent of a loading screen, watching Reese drift around like an NPC waiting for a side quest. By the time she finally scored her 4th point, the crowd didn't cheer. They blinked in confusion, realizing that was her first basket of the night.
Angel Reese needs to be better at basketball. I'm not talking about as a person. I'm not talking about as a podcaster. I'm not talking about at the Met Gala. She needs to be a better player if we want this rivalry to be able to have some staying power. She had a very, very busy offseason. But at this moment, it does not seem like the offseason involved a lot of Mikan drills of left-handed layups. Right now, Angel Reese, she is a wildly famous rebounder. Somebody had the funniest tweet on this. The Caitlin Clark Angel Reese rivalry is like if Kobe had a rivalry with Marcin.
Let's be honest. Nobody was expecting Angel Reese to drop 40 points. Fans just wanted to feel like they didn't get duped into a Groupon deal for heartbreak. When tickets cost less than a bottle of Gatorade inside the arena, the least you can do is give the crowd more than 4 points and a walk-off glare. Instead, they watched the human version of buffering. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, laser-accurate, Iowa tough, is threading passes, drilling logo threes, and making the scoreboard look like it's stuck on cheat mode, while Reese is still trying to find the paint like she needs GPS. And here's the kicker. Those $3 weren't even for Angel. They were for Clark. Reese was supposed to be the co-star in this rivalry, the grudge match, the drama, but she played like an extra in her own movie. Fans noticed, too, their sarcasm echoing through the stadium. Well, I paid $3 to watch Angel Reese stand around like she's waiting for an Uber. Now people are calling for refunds like they just sat through a bad magic show where the magician actually cut himself in half, and others are joking they'd have been better off setting their money on fire. It would have been more entertaining, and at least a little warmer, than Reese's icy performance.
Social media impressions do not equate to television ratings, and they damn sure don't translate to ticket sales. The media can continue framing this narrative that Angel Reese is driving the WNBA's growth, but once again, we have data that proves Angel Reese is not a draw.
Let's not sugarcoat it. Angel Reese is fast becoming the punchline of the WNBA, and not in the charming, quirky way, but in the biggest joke in the league territory. If the WNBA had a blooper reel, her season highlights would be the opening montage. The irony cuts deep. She has the endorsements, the media hype, and an online fan army ready to scorch the earth at the slightest critique, but you can't Instagram filter your way out of a 4-point game, and you can't TikTok dance away a double-digit loss. Her passion is clear, and it's not in the jumper, it's in the clout. This rookie season feels less like a basketball campaign and more like a PR tour, with Reese out here collecting followers instead of rebounds, her stat sheet reading like a deleted draft. While she's busy giving smoldering looks to ESPN's cameras, Caitlin Clark is giving buckets to anyone within 10 feet. Clark is the player fans are driving across state lines to watch, while Reese is the one people forget is even on the floor until the announcer calls her name, and even then they still squint at the jersey and ask, "Wait, that's her."
No, you don't. You want to watch her in social media land. I'm going to remind you, you love the influencer that is Angel Reese. You love what she wears. You love how she carries herself. That's fine. You're entitled to do that. You're entitled to that. It's your right to like who you like and all that shit. But you don't really love Angel Reese, the basketball player. You don't. You say you do, but you don't show it. You don't show it. How do you show something when you don't watch or play games? There's a reason that TV ratings exist. And I've had all the comments around TV ratings saying, nobody talked about TV ratings before this.
What? And can we just pause for a second to picture the absolute carnage if Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham had been on the court together? Sophie's basically a walking flamethrower. And if she'd been tossing elbows and draining threes next to Clark, Angel Reese would have needed a search party just to find her way back to relevance. The scoreboard might have begged for a mercy rule, and the Chicago Sky would have been calling timeouts just to cry. This isn't just bad, it's rebrand the franchise bad. The WNBA is full of players who want to eat your lunch and dunk the tray afterward, and Reese is still sitting at the table wondering if she remembered to pack a PB&J. At some point, the hype machine runs out of gas, and right now hers is running on fumes and hashtags. You can't build an entire career off one NCAA moment and a stack of brand deals. Eventually, fans expect you to actually play, dribble, pass, maybe even score more points than someone's jersey number.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41. Okay. The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect.
Fans aren't dumb. They're catching on fast. Every time Angel Reese turns in another weak game, the internet pops off like a bag of popcorn left in the microwave too long. Missed layups, blown defensive assignments. Those clips are getting memed faster than you can say influencer. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has people seriously debating if she's the greatest WNBA rookie of all time, while Reese has people debating whether $3 was too steep a price for heartbreak and hardwood disappointment. If this is the league's future, then the WNBA might be asking for a refund, too. Not in the "we believe in potential" way, but in the "why did I skip brunch for this" way. At the end of the night, the only stat line anyone remembered was the price of admission, because Reese's 4 points made those $3 tickets the most infamous Chicago investment since someone said, "Let's keep Jay Cutler."